Dear students, earlier what you have seen is the connecting words which are used to add more information between the ideas. That is one you have seen. Then the connecting words which you are used to show the similarities between two or more ideas. Now what you are seeing is connecting words which shows or helps to show the differences between one idea and other idea. I am speaking or I am about to speak, I am writing, I speak different ideas. So, this idea is different from that idea is different from this idea, hundreds of ideas I may be speaking. So, what are the connecting words which are helpful for writing or speaking about different ideas? Number one is although. See, India have, what do you mean by although? It is even though. India has won the T20 match, although they have lost all the 4 test matches against Australians. So, what has India done? India has won the T20 matches, even though it has lost all the 4 test matches against Australia. So, two different ideas. India has won the T20 match. They have lost all the 4 test matches against Australia. See, these two ideas are different ideas. To show the difference, you are connecting the word although. Able to understand? So, although is used to show the difference between two or more ideas. Next is to on the other hand. On the other hand means what? In a different way. He is a doctor. On the other hand, his wife is an engineer. He is a doctor is an idea. His wife is an engineer is a different idea. So, on the other hand shows the differences between this and that. The third one is however. However means what? Anyway. I am frightened of stage speaking. I am frightened of stage speaking. I am very scared. However, I have joined in a stage speaking class. So, I am frightened of stage speaking is an idea. I have joined in a stage speaking class. So, however, even though. The fourth is in contrast to. In contrast to means what? Completely indifferent to. He speaks in contrast to what he does. See, what he does, he speaks. Completely different. He speaks something and he does something. So, when you want to show the differences between what he speaks and what he does, you are using in contrast to. So, two different ideas are connected with these words, although, on the other hand, however, in contrast to. So, these words are the connecting words which shows the differences between one point and other point, or one idea with the other idea, or one statement with the other statement. So, the differences of the ideas can be connected using these words. Hope you are able to understand. Now, we are coming to D. These connecting words help to clear a point. You want to, somebody asks a doubt, you want to clear the point. Somebody has problems, you want to clear the point. Somebody makes a mistake, you clear the point. So, to clear the point, these are the connecting words which are useful. See, in summary means what? In total, in summary. You are telling everything and finally you are coming to a point and saying, in short, I want you to do this, in summary. Here see, India is developing in manufacturing sector. What do you mean by manufacturing sector? Cars and bikes and goods. So, India is developing in manufacturing sector, agriculture sector also, and service sector. What do you mean by service sector? It is a doctor, a lawyer, engineering professions. In summary, in total, finally you are putting in a nutshell, in total. In summary, India is an emerging economical superpower. It is developing superpower in total. So, you are trying to clear a point to the audience stating that India is going to be a superpower. The next point is to conclude. To conclude means to finish. India spoiled its good name internationally. Internationally, it has spoiled its good name because of 2G spectrum. 2G spectrum is a corruption issue, corruption problem. Commonwealth bribes problem. In Commonwealth, India conducted Commonwealth Games. So, nearly 100 crores or 200 crores of money has been squandered away and the minister was put in the prison. The person who was in charge was put in the prison. Even 2G spectrum, a minister is put under prison, and one MP also has been put up into the prison. So India has spoiled its good name. So ISRO contract also, Indian Space Research contract, we have given, the scientists have given without the concurrence of the government of, the Prime Minister's office. So to conclude, to finish, to say in summary, our parliament should pass Anna Hazare's Lokpal bill and eliminate corruption. Anna Hazare is a person who is fighting against corruption. He wants to bring a Lokpal bill. So finally, this is the solution. You are clearing a point. All the bad names of India can be corrected by bringing Anna Hazare's Lokpal bill. So in conclusion, you are saying to conclude. Number third, in other words, you are saying something you are not able to understand, so I am saying in other words, in different way. So in other words also it's used to clear a point. See, for example, Sachin Tendulkar has got 99 centuries. So far he has got in total 99 centuries in test matches and in one-day internationals. So far in test and one-day matches. In other words, he could be called as the god of cricket. So he has scored the maximum centuries. So in other words, different way you are telling, he is the god of cricket. So in other words is used to conclude or clear a point or give a conclusion. Next, 4, in a nutshell. What do you mean by nutshell? You take a coconut, you take the ingredients out, the white pulp, that shell is called nutshell. You take a groundnut, you take the nut out, that shell is called nutshell. So nutshell means in short. So here, water problem between states, electricity distribution problem, etc. should be solved. And finally, you are coming in a nutshell. In short, the government should nationalize the rivers. In short, you are telling this is the only solution. What is the solution? You should nationalize the entire, all the rivers in India. Because states having problem. Tamil Nadu is having a problem with Karnataka, Tamil Nadu is having a problem with Kerala, Tamil Nadu is having a problem with the Andhra Pradesh. So in conclusion, to clear the point, it is the nationalization is the only solution. Dear students, we are continuing with that connecting words, page numbers 94, 95 and 96. We shall start with the page number 94. See, these connecting words help to stress the point or the idea. You are telling an idea, once again you want to say it vehemently or you want to stress the point, then you are using these words. What are the words you are used? You are using in fact. What do you mean by in fact? It is true. In fact, very much true. Truly, really it is true. Again, once again I want to say the same point. So these connecting words help to stress the point. Different ideas you are telling and you are stressing that idea. For example, what? In fact, man going to live in other planets. Man going and living in Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, in other planets. In fact, it will happen one day. Why do you stress this word? In fact, you want to make sure the audience say that you are also in conformity with your idea. You are sure about the idea. So when you are sure about your idea, you are using in fact. In fact means what? Once again I am telling you, Tendulkar is the best batsman. In fact, the government should give him Bharat Ratna award. In fact, you are stressing it once again. Number 2, truly, Indians are good in software internationally. The Indian software companies are truly doing a good job, very sincerely. Once again, you are stressing that. Truly means they are still the number 1. Again, Japanese are mentally tough. They are very tough person, intelligent persons. They came out of Hiroshima, Nagasaki destruction. After the bombardment of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, they came. Again, once again, they proved their mental strength after 2011 natural disaster. So you want to make sure and you want to tell your audience and you want to tell your readers that Japanese are a tough person. So you are giving again and you are using one other example to say that they are very powerful. They are mentally tough persons. So these words, in fact, truly and again, it clearly says that you are stressing the point again and again to make sure that You are very strong on the idea and you want to make your audience also to feel the same. So, next F, these connecting words help to show the location area, where it is. For example, what? Throughout, completely, beyond, on top of, it is in top, in front of, opposite, beneath, below, behind, back, beside, in the side, between, two persons, among, between many, I mean amongst lot of people, around, in and around you, and over, it's above. See, how do you start with throughout? It's a location. Amitabh Bachchan is a great actor. Amitabh Bachchan is a great actor, and throughout the location, the time location, throughout his young age he had been acting in hundreds of Hindi movies. So, throughout says the location, the time period completely. Next is beyond. Ram is good and Ram is a good and a hard worker. He is a very good and hard worker. Beyond being good, apart from that, he doesn't know anything about politics. He doesn't know anything about politics. Beyond, it is the, once again, it is help to show the location. Next, on top of, on top of. She is suffering from financial difficulty. She doesn't have money. She has problem. On top of it, location, on top of it. She is suffering from financial difficulties. On top of it, she is suffering from health problems. She is having health problems also. So, on top of means it is a location. Number 4, in front of. He is a shy person, okay, but he was asked to speak in front of a huge audience. It is a location, in front of a huge audience he was asked to speak. Beneath, the Chief Minister announced free laptop schemes for all the school and college students. She wants all students to be computer technicians. This is beneath. Beneath means extra, more. Beneath her introducing the scheme. She introduced the scheme and she also wants everybody to learn. So, extra, more. Behind, back. Ambani became the richest person in India. Ambani became the richest person in India. Behind his success, back of his success, location, his wife and children were there. His wife and children were there. Behind, it is location. So, Ambani has become the richest person in India. Behind him, who are there, who were there, it is his wife and children. Besides, apart from that, life insurance building in the Mount Road is in the Mount Road. Life insurance building is in the Mount Road. Besides, near to that, the building, we can also see a beautiful shopping complex between two of them. India has been developing in economy from 1991 to 2012 till now, and between 1991 and 2012, between these 2 years, we find many international companies coming to India, many international companies coming to India. Between means between two periods or between two persons, between two things, between two objects. Dear friends, you are continuing with that location or positional connecting word, that is among. When do you use the word among? See, when two persons are there, two things are there, you are using between, but many are there, and then you have to use among. So, among is a connecting word which connects the different ideas. Many ideas are there. See, he is a great singer. Among the singers, lot of singers are there, not two singers, many singers are there. So, you are using the word among. So, he is a great singer among the singers. He has sung songs in many languages. So, this among is used when lot of people are there, or lot of things are there, lot of ideas are there. So, number 10, around. There are many software companies in Chennai and around Chennai. In and around Chennai. In and around Chennai, you have many software. This is a location. We find many software companies in and around. Okay. Next, over. Spencer Plaza is a big shopping mall. Over the first floor, we find many jewelry shops. Jewelry shops we find over there. So, it is the location words. Next, G, we are seeing these connecting words to help to show the order of ideas. See, you have many ideas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 ideas, 20 ideas, 30 ideas. You want to say it in order. Then you have to use firstly. When you want to say the first important point, you are saying firstly. Second, you can use secondly or second point which I want to say. Third important thing which I want to say, or thirdly you can say. And amongst the point, if you want to say one important point, you can say the most importantly what I want to say is, like that you can say. And suppose if it's the last point, you have to say the last but not the least. What do you mean by that? This, the point is the last point but not the least point in any way in quality. So finally you want to end up, you are saying finally, or you can say the next point I want to say, the lastly I want to say, in the end, in the finally I want to say this. So these connecting words help to show the order. So whenever you want to speak, you want to make the audience to receive your first idea, second idea, third, fourth, finally important idea. In the end, what idea you want to say? You want to say in an order, then you have to use these words. Firstly, see, our Prime Minister is a talented person. Our Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is a talented person. Firstly, he is a great economist. Okay, you are using the word firstly to say that firstly, according to the order of his greatness, he is the best economist. Okay, second or secondly, our Prime Minister is a talented person. Yes, talented person. Firstly, is a great, you are telling about his talents, then you are saying what are the qualities. Firstly, he is a great economist, and secondly, he is a great administrator. So two qualities are coming there. First, he is a great economist, and secondly, he is a great administrator. So third or thirdly, see, our Prime Minister is a talented person. Okay, then after that, what are his qualities? Firstly, he is a great economist. Secondly, he is a great administrator, and thirdly, he is a great Prime Minister. So in all quality, all positions, he affixes the adjective, the greatness is there. So next, fourth, most importantly. So amongst the order, you want to say the most important point what he is good at. Our Prime Minister is a talented person, right? Firstly, he is a great economist. Secondly, he is a great administrator. Thirdly, he is a great Prime Minister. And most importantly, what he has made? He has made India a powerful nation. So all the qualities you are saying, amongst the qualities, the most important quality, what you are saying is, he has made India the most powerful nation. The fifth point, the last but not the least, the last point but not anyway, it is cheap point. What is that? Our Prime Minister is a talented person. Okay. Firstly, he is a great economist. Secondly, he is a great administrator. Thirdly, he is a great Prime Minister. Most importantly, he has made India a powerful nation. And not but not the least, he is a happy family man. His daughters are in US. His wife is there. So he is a happiest family man, that you can say. Then finally, sixth point, finally, next, lastly, in the end. Sixth, 7, 8 and 9. Finally, next, lastly, in the end. How do you connect? Our Prime Minister is a talented person, right? Firstly, he is a great economist. Secondly, he is a great administrator. Thirdly, he is a great Prime Minister. Most importantly, he has made India a powerful nation. The last but not the least, he is a family man. Finally, he won the Indo-American nuclear agreement. Next, he brought economical reforms in India. Lastly, he has made India a rich country. And in the end, India became the third greatest economical power in the world. So you see the order, according to the order, we are telling about the Prime Minister. We are telling about the Prime Minister's qualities, and in order, what are the first and second and third and more last and least, or finally in the end, what are his qualities which can be graded according to his performance. So this is what this is connecting words to help to show the order of ideas or points. So this you have to be, you should try to use when you are writing or in speaking, so that your listener or the reader can grasp the ideas according to the order. So these connecting words are very important. Dear friends, what you have seen is connecting words. Already you have seen connecting words, where the connecting words explains about the similarity, explains about the differences, explains about the location, explains about the order. Now we are going to see H. These connecting words help to conclude a speech ending up a speech as a result, number one, to summarize, finally, all in all, lastly. So, as a result, you are telling different ideas, completely different ideas, and finally, you want to come to a conclusion and saying, as a result, the minister was involved in the corruption. As a result, he was put in the prison. He was put in the prison. The minister was involved in the corruption. Both the ideas, different ideas, it is getting connected with the word as a result, with the phrase as a result. So, these connecting words, help to conclude. The minister was involved in corruption. As a result, what happens? He was put in the prison. So, as a result, connects the two sentences and it concludes. As a result, concludes. So, number 2 is summarize. Indian cricket team has lost the test matches in England and Australia. To summarize. So, finally, you are coming to a conclusion. The reasons for defeat India India should change the cricket players. So, India lost the cricket match in England and in Australia. So, to summarize, so you are giving a conclusion. So, you are giving an idea, you are giving a concept to the people, whoever is a listener or readers. India should change the cricket players, to summarize. So, you are summarizing and saying finally what is your conclusion. So, number 3 is finally, the demand for gold has increased all around the world. The demand for gold has increased all around the world. Finally, the price of gold has increased to an all-time high. Because of the increase of the demand, finally what happened? The prices of the gold has increased to a very high price. So, finally, so because of the demand, and the result is finally, and you are telling the idea finally what happened. So, number 4, all in all, there is a great shortage of electricity demand and supply in India. Shortage of electricity demand and supply. So, there is a lot of gap is there. So, all in all, you are coming to a conclusion, atomic energy electrical plants should be started all over India. So, finally, you are getting into a conclusion and you are saying this is what the final conclusion is all about. 5, lastly, dramas, movies, cell phones, televisions are good means of communication. Dramas, movies, cell phones, television are good means of communication. So, finally, you are telling internet has made communication cheaper and efficient all around the world. You can speak through the internet, no charges. So, you can send an email, no charges. There is no courier charges or postal charges. So, finally, you are coming to a conclusion. Dear students, take your group discussion books. It is the page number 99 to 100. See, in spoken and written English, you should avoid the below problems. What are the below problems? Whenever you are delivering a speech, whenever you are writing an essay, certain things which you have to avoid. What are the things which you have to avoid? Number 1 is avoid using many passive voice sentences in your speech or in your essay. You know what do you mean by active voice and passive voice? Try to avoid passive voice sentences, many passive voice sentences. You should use passive voice sentences when need arises, but not very often. So, this is the number 1 point. First point is avoid much or many passive voice sentences. Number 2, avoid using many short sentences and long sentences in your speech or in your essay. Don't try to go in for very short sentence. For example, I am so and so, I come from so and so, I am doing this, they are going there. So, don't go in for very short sentences, and also don't go in for a very long sentence. You should have a pause, you should put a full stop in between, you should make a gap so that the listener should be able to understand the concepts. So, number 3, avoid word repetition. Avoid word repetition. Suppose if you want to say something, for example, you happiness. Don't often say the word happiness. Instead of happiness, you can say blissful, or instead of that excited, is something excited. So, you can use different varieties of word rather than using a single word. So, avoid word repetition. This is the number 3rd. 4th, avoid starting a sentence with coordinating conjunction word. So, what do you mean by coordinating conjunction word? Don't ever start a sentence using and, but, You should never use a sentence, start a sentence using the word and, but, though, although, even though. Never use sentences starting with coordinating conjunction. Conjunction is connecting word. Connecting word should be in between the sentence. So, coordinating conjunction words you should try to avoid using that in your speech or in your writing essay, that is at the beginning. So, see, number 1, avoid using many passive voice sentences. In a sentence, if the subject is the doer of the action, then the sentence is called active voice sentence. He does something, so it is an active voice sentence. But if the subject of or the receiver of the action, then the sentence is a passive voice sentence. If the subject is the receiver, then he becomes a passive. The sentence becomes passive. For example, Sita is dancing disco, a disco dance or rap dance or Bharatanatyam. So, what is a passive? Sita comes behind here by Sita. So, disco comes before starting of the sentence. So, disco is being danced by Sita. Since his dancing is a continuous sentence, you are using is being danced. Dance is a past participle. So, you see, in the active voice sentence, example, the subject Sita is the doer and the action is dancing. So, Sita is the doer. What is the action? Is dancing. In the passive voice example, the subject Sita, she has received. Subject Sita is the receiver of the action. She receives the action. Disco is being danced by Sita. So, for the above example, we may see the passive voice sentence is longer and harder to read and write for a reader or a speaker. See, for example, which sentence is better? Sita is dancing disco. Disco is being danced by Sita. Which sentence do you find it's comfortable for the reader or listener? It's better always to use active voice sentence, isn't it, rather than passive voice sentence. Okay. Using many passive voice sentence will make the writer and the speaker's writing or speaking less interesting. So, you often use passive voice sentences. The listener will get a bit tired. So, it is recommended to use 3 to 7% of passive voice sentences in your writing and speaking. See, whenever you are speaking, if it is 100% of your speaking, 7%, at the most 7% should be in passive voice sentence, and remaining 93% of your delivery should be in active voice sentences. So, 7% should be in passive voice, 3 to 7, and 93% of your delivery in writing or in speaking should be in active voice sentences. So, here active voice sentences are clearer. Active voice sentences are very clear. It is stronger and more direct than the passive voice sentences. Active voice sentences are more direct, and it is focused towards the audience or towards the reader. You should avoid using passive voice sentences fully. You should use passive voice sentence once in a while. The correct usage of passive voice sentences makes your writing and speech very strong and powerful. Whenever you don't want somebody has done something, you don't want to mention the name of the person, then you are using the passive voice. For example, the money has been stolen. You don't want to mention one of your friend's name or family member's name. You want to just particularize and say to the audience that the action has been done, action has been created. You don't want to name the person. Then you can use the passive voice sentence. The money has been stolen. You don't want to mention the name of the person. Dear students, once again we are coming back to page number 101 to 102. The usages of active and passive voice. Where do you use the active and passive voice? So, generally it is recommended to use active voices sentences in more of in your conversation and in your writing task, but passive voice sentences, where do you use? The situations where you should use passive voice sentences in your speech and in your writing. In your speech and in your writing, it's very important, isn't it? From morning to night, you do a lot of talking and a lot of speaking, a lot of writing. So, where do you use the situations? Number 1, the receiver of the action is given more importance than the doer of the action. For example, so when the receiver of the action is given more importance, then you are using passive voice sentence. For example, you see the school students were given bicycles. The school students were given bicycles free of cost, that is from Tamil Nadu government. So, next, the thief was shot dead. In the first sentence, the school students are given more importance than the person who gave the bicycle. School students were given bicycle by Chief Minister, by the Tamil Nadu government. You are not using the word by the Chief Minister or by the government of Tamil Nadu. Then you are using the passive voice sentence. In the second sentence, you see the thief was shot dead. Or today what happened? The robbers were shot dead. The fellows who robbed the bank. So, and in the second sentence, we give importance for the thief who was shot dead than the person who has shot the thief. See here, the thief was shot dead by the police. You are not using the word by the police. So, what it is that is here, the receiver of action is given more importance than you are using passive voice. Third place, in the passive voice sentences, the result of the action is more important than the doer of the action. We just need the result. We don't want to know the action. Who has done the action? We just want to know about the more about the results. We want only the results. We don't want to know about the person. Here you see, the ideas were accepted by the professor. The ideas were accepted by the professor. So, what is it given here? Action is more important than the doer. The movie was released by the actor. Actor released the movie. The action is more important than the doer. Here you see in the first sentence, our ideas were accepted. Our ideas were accepted by the professor. Whereas is more important than the person who are giving the advice. The second sentence, the movie was released, is more important than the actor who released the movie. The movie was released. This is the most important. We are not bothered about by the actor. We are giving more importance to the movie was released. So, the movie was released, the ideas were accepted. These are the two things. The action is more important. When you are giving more weightage to the action, then you are using the passive voice sentence. Now, you see the fourth. In the passive voice sentence, the action is more important than the doer. Prime Minister was elected last week, was elected. A new government is formed in the capital. Here, in the above A and B sentences, the minister was elected and the new government is formed is more important than the doer, the people and the cabinet. So, Prime Minister was elected last week by the cabinet members. You are not using the word by the cabinet members. New government is formed in the cabinet, in the capital by the cabinet ministers. You are leaving the cabinet ministers also. So, number 5, we use passive voice sentences when we do not want our listener or reader to know who did the action. See, for example, money is stolen. You don't want to mention who has done the thing. Next, we use passive voice sentences when we speak in general or in an objective way. What do you mean by objective and subjective and not in a subjective way? What is the difference between subjective and objective? Anybody? Objective and subjective? Objective and subjective, sir?
Subject is about the person or the what's the way frame it? Objective is what you are saying about the subject.
Okay, okay. You have come nearer to that. See, objective means it is individual opinion, right? Objective means it is a form. See, for example, everybody should pay tax. It is an objective. Subjective means what? It is my wish to pay the tax or not. It is my subjective interest. So, subjective is individual opinion. Objective is something more broader. Passive voice sentences is used in technical, scientific and reporting the results. For example, what is that you can say in for? The research was done and the results were published. The research was done and the results were released. So, these are the 6 places, and the 7th place is when we want to stress and give importance for some action, we use passive voice sentences. Hope you are able to understand. Dear students, take your page number 103 to 104, the group discussion. Here, the writer or speaker may use different kinds of essays or speeches. You come to the stage, what type of speech you are going to deliver, or you write what type of an essay you write. So, broadly we have around 8 types of writing or 8 types of speaking. The first is the information and contrasting writing or speaking. Information and contrasting writing or speaking. The second one is comparison and contrasting writing and speaking. Third, narrative writing or speaking. Fourth, problem solving writing or speaking. Fifth, writing and speaking about literature like movie review or book review. Sixth is writing and speaking about the cause and effect. Number 7, persuasive writing or persuade or compel the listener or reader, that type of speech or that type of writing. The 8th one is descriptive writing and speaking of a process. You are describing and something about something and the process. See, number first, information and contrasting writing or speaking. Here you see information writing or speaking. Information writing or speaking helps the reader or the listener to understand the subject. For example, population of the world, two-wheeler production, etc. Informative writing and speaking are used on the, are based on the researched facts which we get from the journals